Hello, welcome once again to Living and Active. I actually wasn't going to do a video for quite some time. I wanted to focus on various other things, but this I wrote a post and did a bunch of pictures of this machine a little bit ago. This one came in today, along with one that arrived damaged. This is the 1912 Singer 66 Red Eye that I was writing the post about. I just put it on the bench and I got it in better light and I brushed off the initial dust covering that was on it, and now I can actually see the extent to which the finish is just absolutely trashed. So I am literally shooting this to document the kind of damage that has been done to this thing. And I'm going to post it. Okay, now this is the front side. This is the side that faces whoever's using it as they use it. Sorry for the grunt. I had to get myself configured to try to move it with one half a hand. Uh, the surprising thing here is that there's still a needle in this thing. The bobbin cover is missing. Obviously, the bobbin is missing. The needle plate doesn't really look that bad. And from this side, it looks like, where it's just been sort of handled kind of roughly or whatever, not much attention being given to just how it's handled. So you got your missing finish on the edges, whatever. It's all pretty standard. And then you start moving the piece around. You start looking at kind of the periphery of things. And you start seeing really, really impacted. I mean, this is grime. This is grease and grime. Looks like river silt. I mean, you'll see in a second when I flip this around so you can see the back of it. I really do believe this thing has seen a fairly decent depth of water at some point. Or lived outside in the rain for a little bit. The spool pin isn't rusted too badly, but that is rust. That's not like old oil or anything. That is actual rust. So, and we come to the hand wheel. Hand wheel definitely has corrosion on it, as does the clutch. And we come and we have to do the hand crank compatibility check, and that lug is here. So it will take a hand crank. It already has the spoked wheel, so I only need to add one piece, or one additional part to it, not two. So I did that dip for a very specific reason, and you'll see why in a second. But here you're coming in to see lots of damage to the enamel, to the finish. That's bare metal that has been rusted. You come down here and you can see just the grime, and you can see, if I catch the angle right, you can actually see how much of the finish is actually chipped away from the back side of this thing. I mean, this thing is pop marked. You come here, and this cover is supposed to be shiny shiny, shiny, shiny. It's not. Obviously, that screw is supposed to be shiny. This is all corrosion and rust. I think maybe, yeah, this is built up oil. Now, these machines this old, this is from 1912. Machines this old usually do have some kind of burnt on, built up machine oil thing, or covering, like a glaze almost um, of old dried on oil, just from being oiled and not really maintained all that well. And then if whoever had this was a smoker, then cigarette smoke would actually adhere to that oil, and that would actually expedite the detriment of the finish. What you're seeing here, these aren't design elements. These are gaps. These are holes in the finish. This is bare metal that my finger's touching. It's all rusted. All of this up here. The edges of this look, I mean, it really does look, in some ways, it really does look like there's something just wet that it just laid on forever. But that doesn't make sense because this edge, the edge itself, is in pretty decent shape, all things considered. The little mounting lugs here, they're not rusted, either one of them. And then you come to like right here, this whole, this is a bad angle. Excuse me. But you can see, I mean, this is just, if I clean, if I were to put oil on this and clean it and then dry the oil off, you would see this is all bare metal. All the void there is all bare metal, bare rusted metal. So this thing has been through quite a lot. What I'm probably going to do, what I'm going to have to do, is after I get it cleaned up and make sure it works and everything, I'm going to have to take my high-speed mixture here, which is marine marine varnish mixed with a little bit of a thinner, and then I'm going to coat all of this with that, just to stabilize the finish that's on here, because I don't have the facilities, resources, the equipment, whatever, to do a complete restore where I strip all the paint off and then repaint it. And besides, that's not what I do. I'm here to stabilize and to rejuvenate and to conserve what I can, and let the machines actually bear the marks of their, in this case, 115 years worth of neglect and misuse. So yeah, that's how, that's the kind of shape that I get these in sometimes. The finish wise, this one is probably the one that's in the worst condition that I have. Yeah, now that I'm shooting across the bed, you can actually see how bad that far edge is. You can see the pitting and just the just general disrepair of the finish on the bed of this machine. But I haven't gotten into functionality or anything yet. I literally just took the chip brush and knocked the dust off of it, and I saw how bad the finish actually is. And I was like, well, I've got to get a shot of this. So when I fixed it, by the way, I might take some model enamel, some black, and lay in some of the larger areas that are missing before I put on the varnish coat. I might not. I might just clear coat the whole thing and just let it be that way. But yeah, this is in rough shape. When I start pulling off plates, especially this plate, I'm I suffer no delusions as to what I'm going to find. This is going to be a mess. But even for all of this, I do want to show this. Having briefly touched the hand wheel a couple times without actually doing a proper functions check, the wheel itself does move fairly freely. The clutch is not engaged, and you can tell that the clutch is not engaged because as I turn the wheel, the needle isn't moving. So I'm going to see if the clutch will engage. And no, it does not. It went a little bit, but now the wheel doesn't turn. Okay. So this is with the clutch partially engaged. It's not going to engage all the way, but now I can get a little bit of a wobble in the needle by moving the hand wheel, but now everything is absolutely stuck. This is my range of motion here. So yeah, there's lots to do with this one. So this one might get all nice and cleaned up and work very well, but I think it's still going to be ugly enough to the point where no one's going to buy it. So this might end up being a shop machine. I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. But yeah, so that's the thing. It's the video. It's the machine. This is what's on the bench today. And speaking of things that are in incredibly bad shape, you know, the reason why I'm turning more and more away from the community work of living in active life gatherings. I'm not physically turning away from them, but I don't have anywhere near the level of connection to making sure they succeed as I used to, because things are just crumbling way too quickly. It's if they work for a little bit, fine. If they don't work at all, then fine. I'm not going to put myself in a bind by trying to hang on to something that isn't going to matter before too long. So, and then the same thing with, like I've already said elsewhere on this channel, you know, the if war comes to our turf, then you know the YouTube, all of that goes away immediately. But until then, I will keep giving updates for cool little things to look at, things that I'm doing to keep my hands busy, my mind engaged, and to keep my heart from floundering in fear or desperation or despair or whatever. Choosing every day to believe that what God has said is true, what He has said He will do, that He is faithful and true, and that because of those things, I don't have anything to worry about. If I survive whatever's coming, then I don't have anything to worry about. If I don't survive whatever's coming, I'll be with the Lord, and I really won't have anything to worry about. So that's the thing. Hebrews 11:6. Without faith it is impossible to please God, because those who come to God must believe that He is a rewarder of those who seek Him. And until next time, if there is a next time, God be with you. Okay, so here's kind of an update video on that incredibly grody 1912 Singer 66. I wasn't planning on shooting an intermediate video. I was just going to do before and after. But this is the only reason that piece right there looks the way it does. My mechanical cocks are about to inform me that it is midnight. The only reason that piece right there looks the way it does is because of this tool. This stuff, these parts are literally. Let's see if I can. Oh, let's swap pans. But I mean, these parts are literally just. It's like it's not even caked on oil. It's just burnt on. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, they're not. Let's see. Where's another good spot to hit? I already did the easy one. I should have saved this for the video. But this is just grime and grody that's stuck onto these parts. This is, by the way, a dental tool. I have a set of dental tools that I keep specifically for this work. See if I can get a satisfying clean on top here. This is hard to do through the viewfinder. There's a oil fort or something right there. It's all groated up. But yeah, so this is like I said, this is the 1912 Singer 66. I think this is going to be, I don't usually name my sewing machines unless they give me troubles. So far, the only sewing machine so far that I have had that has a name is Gobi. And his trouble started from the first second I got him because he's got a jacked up serial number. And he's called Gobi because the serial number looks like it's G08I, but it's not because there's no ever any configuration of Singer doing that with their serial numbers. And so someone stamped an I in the place of a 1 or something. And it looks like Gobi if you look at it quickly enough. So Gobi it is. That's his name. He's got all kinds of problems too, other than his serial number. So I call him my problem child. I think Gobi just earned himself a twin brother. I'll probably name this one Goober. So we can have Gobi and Goober. This is very hard to do. I don't have any wrist supports on. I've got basically my upper body supported on my wrist, between my wrist here on the edge of the table and my left elbow on the armrest of my wheelchair. And that's how I'm supporting my upper body, and I'm trying to do this at the same time while looking through the viewfinder. This is not going exceedingly well for me. Plus, the half a hand that's actually doing any kind of function with this is currently screaming at me because I'm trying to do the wrist stiffening and the manipulation work with the same muscles, and it's not working well. But anyway, so yeah, that is to refresh your memory quickly, if I may. The Grody 1912 Singer 66 is the one that looks like this. This is one where the finish is absolutely chewed up. I have spent the last hour trying to get some of the cleaning done. I've gone back and forth between mechanic hand cleanser, no pumice, because I wouldn't want to damage the finish, and an enamel or a polish that's meant for enameled surfaces. And I've gone back and forth with those a couple times, and that is as clean as it has gotten so far. But it does make it easier to see that not all of this gunk is grime. A lot of it is decay of the finish. So this is not going to be, see, look how gross the mechanics in this thing are. I really want to know. I kind of sort of do, kind of sort of don't want to know what happened to this machine. Like, does someone literally use it as a boat anchor? Did somebody sink a boat and this came off of it? Like, what happened here? But yeah, so that's the intermediary progress video of a machine I think, going to officially call Goober. So there you go. That's installment 2 of the progress of Goober. So I'll when I put this video together, I'll actually get Gobi's date of manufacture, and I'll compare the two, and I'll see which one is older, which one's the younger, which one's the older. But there you go. So this is a very gross machine, and on to the next, however long it takes me to get this going. But yeah, that's where it's at. Well, folks, here we come to part 3 of the progress of the 1912 Singer 66. I've got a name for this series. You already know it if you've seen the title, and you probably have seen the title. But I'm not going to do a roll credits thing where I call out the name of the thing in the third act. Anyway, so yeah, in the middle section I talked about this thing earning the name Goober, and not long after it earned its name, it also earned a permanent spot on the in the convalescent home that I have for machines that are over 100 years old that are going to be a lot more involved in trying to get fixed than what I initially thought. So all of you will be happy to learn that soon Gobi and Goober, the brothers, will be united and being able to rest and take it easy inside the old guard convalescent home that I've established for such machines. The bottom rack of that convalescent home is all 66s. Like, I don't know what the deal is with Singer 66s, but these are the ones that I get in the worst shape, no matter where I get them from. If I'm going to have a machine that's going to give me trouble, that's just going to be treated like absolute garbage on its way to me, it's going to be a 66. Gobi, I went and checked his tag that I have on him earlier. Gobi is actually a 1923. So Goober is Gobi's senior by 11 years. So I thought that was interesting to note. But yeah, I don't get what it is with 66s. People just treat them like garbage, man. They're great machines. The 99s I get, which is a 3/4 size version of the 66, every 99 that I've gotten in, I always tell myself I'm going to keep it for myself, after I get it fixed up. But they come to me in such great shape that I feel guilty for hanging on to them. And so I get them quick turnaround, get them cleaned up, get them lubed, get them serviced, whatever. I do a testo on them, I get them labeled, and I get them out to the thrift store. That's the 99s. The full size version, which is these 66s, I don't know, they just come to me like absolutely all like garbaged up. I mean, you can see maybe you can't. I mean, you can. There are just layers and layers and layers and layers of crud and gunk and smoke and everything. And it's not even just the cleaning that makes me have to put this off to the side while I process other machines. And you see here, these presser feet for some reason are very hard to find. Gobi is missing his presser foot, and so I had to order something that kind of sort of fit, but doesn't really. But one of the reasons why I have to table this project is because the screw that holds the presser foot on decided today was a good day to snap off. So, I mean, you can just see, look at this. This is just grody. This is gross. I have no idea what happened to this machine. I mean, this is unsolved mysteries. True crime level of neglect and abuse. Or just, rattling around, in someone's like barn or something. I don't know what happened to this thing. But it's not, I mean, I'm not going to be able to get it unseized until I can get it all the way apart. And the more apart I try to take it, the more things are breaking. So, and I'm not even using that much force because I can't use that much force because I don't have that much force. So this thing now is going to this one is going to get retired. I'm not going to throw it away because just no. I mean, I can I can use it for parts, I guess, if I really wanted to. I don't want to. But whoever donated it to, this is the thing that trips me out. Whoever donated this machine to Goodwill for it to be put on online auction for me to find it, and their picture taking at goodwill.com online auctions. This is not a sponsored video, as I'm about to demonstrate by the fact that I'm going to talk some smack here. They are not the best photographers. Because if they could get, if they would get actual shots of the damage that's done to some of these machines, I wouldn't buy them. This one, it looked a little scuffed up, but I figured it was just dirty from the photos, and photos don't really tell you, hey, your screws are going to break as soon as you try to get them loose. But whoever donated this machine to Goodwill was going to try to fix it. So I've got to give them some kind of credit. Maybe they didn't know exactly what they were doing. But this is a brand new modern reproduction slide plate here. It doesn't really fit. But that's new. you can tell the difference, you know. That's the original, that's new. So someone was going to fix it up, spent the money on those slide plates. They're not exactly the cheapest thing. I mean, they're not, prohibitively expensive, but it's money that would be nice not to spend if you know you aren't going to benefit from it. But yeah. So someone had wanted to fix this. They didn't even get the slide plate on. I don't know if they figured out that it was just loose, and so they just got aggravated and took it off, or they couldn't figure out how to get it on. But it was loose in the box when I got it. But yeah, look at that grody. Maybe you can't. Maybe if I turn the light off, you can see the gunk better. But yeah. So yeah, this is this concludes the 3-part introduction to Goober. And I'm gonna change his tag and get him into convalescent storage where he belongs, with his other. I now have 4 100 100-year old plus Singer 66s that are in convalescence right now. I get them in, I think I'm going to do something with them, and then they just grind me to a halt, and then I end up putting a whole bunch of time into them, and all of the rest of the machines get backlogged because I get dug down into these things. So I don't know what the cultural hatred is for 66s, but folks, if you have one of these machines, please end the hate. Be nice to these things, especially if you're going to donate them. And if you get a machine, please, I beg you, if you get a machine, if you have a machine, you come across a machine that's this bad, don't donate it. Throw it away. Recycle it, please. I mean, it's kind of a jerk thing to do. So that's my public service announcement. Speaking as someone who does this, I try not to. I do what I can to conserve the machines that I get, because they've been around forever. But I mean, if you are someone who has let your machine get to this point, or if you do an estate sale or something and you find a machine that's in this bad a shape, if you don't know how to test it, take it to someone that does to see if it functions mechanically. But do due diligence. If it's seized up mechanically and the finishes are gone and there's obvious signs of neglect, abuse, rust, whatever, just recycle it, get rid of it, put it out of its misery. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to end this 3rd part of this video, get this thing tagged up right, and then get it into the old guard convalescent home and call it good until things settle down. If they settle down, if I live long enough, if Jesus doesn't come first, then I might poke my nose back at it again. But for now, this thing is retired. And speaking of retired, so is this video. Hebrews 11:6. Without faith it is impossible to please God. Those who come to God must believe that He is. He is a rewarder of those who seek Him. Until next time, if there is a next time, and there might not be, God be with you.